So for Cinco de Mayo, a lot of people said that if you voted for, the orange man, you could not celebrate Cinco de Mayo because you voted for something and keep supporting something that is completely against the people that Cinco de Mayo is for. And that was accurate. It's absolutely true. And in response to that, a lot of people, white people, came out saying, like, he said we couldn't, we're going to anyway. And there's been a ton of videos that I've seen, not on the day, but, throughout everywhere else. And that is really disturbing because it tells me that we failed something, right? When you see the amount of white people who are emboldened to just say things that they should not be saying, that are supporting ideologies that, we went to war against in World War II, and, just basically being terrible people in ways that are harmful to others, it tells me we failed. The United States failed as a country way back, right? We thought we did something with the Civil War. We thought we did. We didn't, though. We had a battle. We beat those people back, and then it's just coming back, which tells me we didn't do enough. Now, this is no fault on our forefathers. At the time, war in itself, conflict in itself can be pretty devastating, and maybe they thought that was enough. Maybe they thought that it was enough to stop what was, happening at the time, to free people and to provide equality for all. They thought that, a conflict was enough, a war was enough, but it was not. It was not. What we should have done is enacted exceptionally harsh laws and codified them in the Constitution. Laws against certain forms of speech, because what's happened is we've seen where over time people on the right are starting to mangle the Constitution's amendments, such as, the First Amendment, to interpret it as meaning that extreme speech is protected. Shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That experiment has already been done. We've already seen enough time that extreme speech does not need to be defended. Now, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, people used to be like, oh, you can't censor speech. How would you know the difference between like jokes and between the other? It's not hard. I realized in my 30s that the people trying to defend extreme speech under the guise of if you censor that, it censors everything, and that we can't define things, they're using that as an excuse to protect extreme speech. Under the guise of making it seem like they care for my speech too, when they don't. There has been no person I've encountered that was trying to defend free speech by saying we can't outlaw extreme speech. I have to say extreme speech because this app, but I think you guys know what I mean. Because it would harm free speech. It will not. If you're a comedian and you are making jokes, right? That is something that is easily discernible. We've had, there's plenty of cases about free speech within the Supreme Court, but we really do need to clamp down on what we allow and don't allow in terms of extreme speech, because a lot of the things we're seeing that are protected under First Amendment rights, rallies of people in white robes, groups of people that are masked and armed confronting people of color, those are protected under free speech when they should not be. It's an obvious and blatant manipulation of the First Amendment, a perversion, if you will, of the First Amendment. So I'm tired of that. If you're one of those people that, and this is the line that I'm drawing, if you're one of those people that you were going to marginalize a group and then take their holidays, you're no better than colonists, and you're no better than people that tried to own people as property way back. You're no better. And you'll be treated as such, and should be. And I urge everybody who watches this and agrees with that to start treating those people the same in public squares. Start putting them in positions where they have to out themselves, even worse. If you guys saw the Tizzy video where the guy was in a Cybertruck and he did a certain hand salute and he said, they made me, they pressured me into it. And it's, no, nobody pressured you into it. You can't be pressured into making extremist claims. It doesn't work that way. You make them because it's in your heart, not because somebody made you. In fact, it's quite interesting how it is that people, when they're forced to survive, do terrible things, but people, when they're forced to, don't do extremist things. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. And it never has, never will. And it's just another crappy excuse. So anyway, we're about 5 minutes here, guys. Don't want to make it too long. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And, how would you confront these people if they were celebrating this and doing videos like this? If you knew them, how would you confront them? How would you deal with it? Personally, for me, as it's been for a while now, if you're gonna do things like this, I'm not talking with you anymore. I'm not dealing with you anymore. You just get cut off. So anyways, guys.